The Bermuda Triangle Conspiracy Theories. There are a lot of theories surrounding the Bermuda Triangle. It is one of the most controversial issues in our world today because of the mysterious events that occur around that area. The Bermuda Triangle is the name used to refer to a triangle-shaped area between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. The name was first used by Vincent Gaddis in an article published in 1964, and the Bermuda Triangle has since then become a popular tag to this geographical location. The Bermuda Triangle is also called several names based on the mysteries surrounding it. It is called the Devil's Triangle by conspiracy theorists because of many unexplained events that have occurred in that area. It is also called the Hoodoo Sea, the Limbo of the Lost, and several other names. The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle has been attached to various paranormal events. Some say it is the gateway to the underworld. Others see it as a wormhole to a new dimension. Others believe that this is the entrance to the bottomless pit. William Shakespeare's play, The Tempest, which some scholars claim was based on a real-life Bermuda shipwreck, may have enhanced the area's aura of mystery. Nonetheless, reports of unexplained disappearances did not really capture the public's attention until the 20th century. It is estimated that over 1,000 lives have been lost there. The idea of traveling through the Bermuda Triangle frightens sailors and pilots because of past records of lost ships and aircrafts that traveled through that region. A considerable number of weird and heart-frightening accidents have been recorded in that area of the ocean. Some of the most famous incidences that took place in the Bermuda Triangle featured the USS Cyclops, a Navy cargo ship carrying 300 men and many tons of ore in 1918. Two other ships similar to the Cyclops, and Flight 19, in which 5 Navy bombers and a rescue ship all disappeared within the Devil's Triangle in 1945. The greatest mystery of the triangle is that no wreckage was found in all of these cases. Literally, it was as if the vessels and the men aboard simply disappeared into thin air. The Bermuda Triangle has become a graveyard for many people, ships, and aircrafts. More so, the mystical events that have heightened people's interest in the area over decades. Reports of mysterious events in the Bermuda Triangle can be traced back to the mid-19th century. Some ships were discovered completely abandoned for no justifiable reason. Others transmitted no distress signals before their mysterious disappearance. Aircrafts flying over the area vanished, and rescue missions also are said to have vanished when flying in the area. However, wreckage has not been found, and nothing about the vessels and the people have been traceable. Some of the theories suggested to explain the repeat anomalies have been fanciful. There are theories that attempt to tie these disappearances to certain supernatural causes. We are going to consider these theories and the logic behind them. One of the theories states that the reason for the catastrophe is that pilots failed to account for the agonic line, that is, the place at which there is no need to compensate for magnetic compass variation as they approached the Bermuda Triangle. It is believed that this significant navigational error could be the reason for the catastrophe. If you're looking for a deep mystery or a supernatural explanation, you might be disappointed by the propositions of this theory. But before we seek for deep explanations, we are assured beyond reasonable doubts that simple mistakes cause a lot of accidents annually, both in the air and on the sea. For instance, inexperience, confusion, or disorientation by a pilot or captain can result in deadly consequences. Again, it is proven that the Bermuda Triangle has a lot of islands that can be hard to differentiate from one another, which can be a leading factor of confusion. There are people who believe that the sudden disappearance of 5 torpedo bombers in 1945 was caused by human error. Record has it that they were led by Lieutenant Charles Taylor, who was believed to be hungover and who had gotten lost in the past during flights. Another popular theorist stated that the missing vessels and people aboard were victims of rogue waves. These rogue waves are massive waves that can reach heights of up to 100 feet and would theoretically be powerful enough to destroy all evidence of a ship or airplane. This tends to explain the reason no wrecks were found after the mysterious disappearances. It is also stipulated that the Bermuda Triangle is found in an area of the Atlantic Ocean where storms from multiple directions can converge, making rogue waves more likely to occur. There are also theorists who explained that water spouts, which are basically tornadoes in the ocean, have been seen in the Bermuda Triangle. It is believed that during this weather phenomenon, water from the ocean rises hundreds or thousands of feet into the air. Apart from waterspouts, there are attempts to explain that part of the Gulf Stream moves along the edge of the Bermuda Triangle, which can lead to high waves which could easily capsize boats. It is said that these waves hit with absolutely no warning and can be hundreds of feet high. It is not out of point to think that waves of such height would be able to knock out planes that were flying closer to the water. This shows that there are a lot of weather scenarios that could spell disaster for pilots and sailors. There are also theorists who believe that methane gas is responsible for bringing ships and planes to their watery graves in the triangle. It is proven that substantial amounts of methane gas exist in some spots in the ocean floor. A series of huge craters discovered on the seabed around the coast of Norway in 2016 may also provide scientists with useful information in solving the mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. The craters are said to measure up to half a mile wide and are 150 feet deep, and are believed to have been formed by bubbles of largely methane gas leaking from deposits of oil and gas buried deep in the sea floor. It is believed that once these gases reach a critical mass before bursting to the surface, they can cause large eruptions. This scenario could take place within the shortest possible time one could imagine, in just mere seconds, which wouldn't allow those on board time to radio for help or abandon ship. It is also speculated that signals fail, radios stop working, and electronics start wiggling out at the Bermuda Triangle region, so reaching out for help could be the most difficult thing to do at such a time. According to a research carried out in the University of Colorado in 2016, satellite images of the area were analyzed, and it was discovered that there were hexagonal clouds in this area which might act like air bombs. The air bombs could be referred to as hurricane-force winds, which most ships and aircrafts will hardly survive. The wormhole theory also holds a lot of significance for some. A wormhole is basically a space-time shortcut that has the potential to allow time travel. The wormholes theory hasn't been proven to exist. However, it is also upheld as a potential Bermuda Triangle theory. Some people use the wormhole theory to explain why many vessels aren't found after getting lost in the Bermuda Triangle. Since there is a lot of controversy about the real cause of the anomalies in the Bermuda Triangle region, some people have tied it up to the activities of aliens. Although there's no presentable reason to believe aliens are behind any of the Bermuda Triangle events, it is much easier to accuse aliens of unexplainable scenarios. Some believe that aliens might choose the secluded area of the Bermuda Triangle to capture gullible travelers. There are also theorists who have blamed UFOs for the mysterious disappearances, and they believe that aliens use the triangle as a portal to travel to and from our planet. Finally, amidst all the theoretical propositions about the Bermuda Triangle, some people think there is no mystery to the disappearances in the triangle. They state there are no more unusual events in the Bermuda Triangle than in other parts of the world. Those who hold to this theory say it's hard to separate fact from legend about where certain ships or planes have disappeared. Since there are no wrecks, it is assumed that the actual positions of the lost vessels are unknown. And if there are more wrecks, they say it's simply due to the fact that much numbers of ships and aircrafts travel through such parts. Notable among those who do not believe in the mystical views held by people about the Bermuda Triangle is an Australian scientist, Carl Kreutznickel, who claimed that the high number of disappearances cannot be traced to aliens or to the more acceptable theories involving rogue waves. Instead, he suggests that the so-called mystery is nothing more than a perfect mixture of human error, bad weather, and a high concentration of ships in the area. Also, according to Lloyd's of London and the US Coast Guard, the number of people and vessels that go missing in the Bermuda Triangle is the same as anywhere in the world on a percentage basis. In fact, statistics show that the Bermuda Triangle is not in any way more or less dangerous than any other part of the sea. According to a report from the US Coast Guard, it was stated that the Coast Guard does not recognize the existence of the so-called Bermuda Triangle as a geographic area of specific hazard to ships or planes. In a review of many aircraft and vessel losses in the area over the years, there has been nothing discovered that would indicate that casualties were the result of anything other than physical causes. No extraordinary factors have ever been identified. We know and believe that there are certain supernatural events that take place in the world. However, We cannot unduly tie event-strange occurrence on Earth to a supernatural acts. There are logical explanations to the experiences in the Bermuda Triangle. If we accept the name Devil's Triangle, we mean that the devil has a unique place in the sea where he perpetuates evil, and this is not scriptural. We can accept the disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle as tragic and unusual, but not as an absolute paranormal event that can never be logically and scientifically traced. We believers know that both God and the devil speak to humans. The Bible tells us clearly that the devil is a liar. He has been a liar and a deceiver from the beginning. But we are to put our trust in the Lord. And there is no shadow of turning in him. More so, we are to live by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. We serve a supernatural God as Christians, but the supernatural does not shut us out from experiencing the natural too. We live by the Word of God, and we sustain our lives by it. But we are not going to throw off logical explanations to natural events. God gave us wisdom to think. We cannot say the exact mystery behind the unusual happenings in the Bermuda Triangle, but logically, there are explanations to these possibilities. Only God knows all things, and we believe that in the fullness of time, all hidden things will be revealed by God.